I didn't even check to see if the mic's plugged in, but hey, it's got a little dent from when it fell. Oh, hello! Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca with a little dear Lizzie and a surprise at the end.
Oh, yes. Hang on till the end for a surprise announcement. Ooh, it's about tomorrow. That's all I'm giving you right now. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber. In kind of overcast, and at least it's not raining at the moment, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's gonna rain.
Yeah, excuse me. I have donut in my throat. The weather, the radio on the way in was like, bring multiple outfits today for the weather. I was like,
Plan for summer, spring, fall, and winter.
Yay! Okay, anyway. So we did not film last week. We weren't able to. So we're trying to make up for it this week. Woohoo! And potentially a lot to tell you all about. But before you get too far into that, I was hoping we could start, since we had a question for Dear Becky and Lizzie last week. I was hoping we could start with that this week. And then we can go into our usual update and stuff. So before I talk too long and we don't get to it, that's really what this is code for.
No show notes. No show notes.
No show notes, but I know I like to talk a lot, so sorry, readjusting. Yes?
Okay. Dear Becky and Liz, Rebecca, do you have a tips and tricks video on how to fix a make one increase and a regular stitch on top so that we don't have to go back so many rows to start all over? It's just a pain. Please help. Thank you for all you do. Love knitting in the dark.
Okay, so I don't think I have a video on that. And knitting in the dark. A little light might help. No, just kidding.
Love, comma, punctuation saves lives. Knitting in the dark. Yes, that's her name.
I know, but knitting in the dark, that could be part of the problem. No kidding. No, I think that's absolutely adorable. Okay, so I don't have a video yet. And this format is not the best format to try to show you something like that because it won't be from the front, you'd be seeing it from behind. It'd be really weird. But to verbally tell you is if you missed a make one, first of all, squishing in when you forgot to make one on the row, say 2 rows before, squishing that in means that everything's going to get a little tighter. It's doable, but there isn't really enough material there to do it. So everything's going to get a little tight and a little fidgety. And you have given me a inspiration for maybe if I finally have energy to do a little tips and tricks video. I'm happy to do one on this if I'm able. I can't make promises about when that's going to happen, but I'll make a note. So, but you're essentially going to go the spot where you would make it, the spot where it's missing. Say you are on your next increase row and you realize that 2 rows down you should have done a make one. You're actually going to have to count down 3 strands. If you pull apart and see the strands between the stitches, you're actually going to, the top strand is the row you just did on top of your increase row. Because a lot of times it's increase and then make one. Oh, wait, that's not what I meant. COVID brain is still, I'm feeling so much better, but not really. So, the increase row and then what I call a set row above it. Where you just do a round of knitting. So when you look at the strands between your stitches, you're going to have the top strand is connecting 2 stitches together on the set row. And then the strand below that is the strand that should have been your increase. But to make that increase, you're going to have to go down 1 more row. Because a make one, right or left, is using the strand between stitches on the current row you're on. So the way that I would attempt to draw this, I can at least do that, is, let's see. This is why videos I do a lot of prep work on. So, bear with me. I would say vamp Liz, but she's busy crocheting.
Well, I can vamp. I I'm done with my puff. I'm slowly picturing what you're. I do my make ones different, but you know.
You do backwards loop.
I do backwards loop,
but
but
you can't. That can't.
That still will be a tight fix.
Okay, so if you were going to do it according to the instructions, like, so there's my thing of the 2 stitches between which there should have been an increase. A make one is either right or left is made by lifting a strand and knitting into it what I call the hardest way possible. And if you're up here and you realize that there should have been an increase right here, like 2 rows down, 1, 2, you actually need to lift this strand up and pull this strand through it. And once you have a stitch there, then get this, then build up your ladder. So that's why me making a tips and tricks video would be really good. Because that's a great inspiration for me to actually have a topic that isn't as big as our make-alongs for a video. So, and see, there's not a lot of material there to fudge and put your stitch in, but it's doable. It's just wonky as all heck. So, so thank you for the inspiration, but that's the thing is like you've got to pick this stitch up. I would almost use like cables or another set of needles to do this rather than the needles you're on if you have access to it, because you got to twist this one and then you got to pull this one through it in a way that it and depending on if you actually want it leaning and looking pretty, if you just want to get an extra stitch in there, that's different. But to not have a hole, we got to twist this strand, pull this one through it, and then pull the top one through it. And we'll see if I have time and energy on Monday to do a video on that. That's a hot maybe. So, but yes, it is doable. So
I've seen you do it.
Yeah. I've done it more with missing yarn overs, and that I'm going to hold and wait till the lace make along, which isn't until the fall. But, or, you know, I could make it earlier than the fall, but I'd reference back to it in the fall. But a lace, like a yarn over that you've missed, like a hole, that's a little easier to fudge. A make one, the difference there is you don't want a hole. You want to add a stitch, but not have a hole underneath it. And that means that instead of just picking up a strand and pulling through and pulling up, you need to twist that strand so that it doesn't have a big, huge gap. It's only got an itty bitty gap. So, anyway, moving on. What have you been up to?
Not much. It's been crazy at my house.
You don't have to update everyone on everything.
No.
So what have you been working on?
I've been working on Bernie's sweater. I am still on the raglan increases of his flax.
You're using the flax pattern.
I'm using the flax.
Ooh, and just because you're mentioning flax this morning, I haven't actually, I'm like, oh wait, no, I haven't actually posted about it, but I'm doing a flax as well. Flax is just such a great, like, basic raglan sweater. I'm doing one for the shop. It's going on my pledge to finish. That's all I wanted to say. I'm doing a flax as well. Flax by Tin Can Knits is great.
I am not doing the garter ridge down the sleeves, partly because I don't want a purl. I have nothing against the garter ridge, but I don't want a purl.
That garter stripey thing, honestly, this is a sweater pattern I tell people to make as, like, if they want a basic starter sweater, I say make this one. And if they're like, what is that weird stripe down there? I say, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
If it says
that
P,
makes it a
don't
better.
do it.
Just knit. It makes a better. I'm just getting stuff out of the way. A better intro sweater. What?
I'm merging needles on the table.
We've been playing a game lately that,
Yeah.
you see 3 things and you're like, ooh, and then nothing happens and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
What would this give us if we were playing Merge Dragons? 3 needles?
3 needles might give us
Would it give us a repair hook, maybe?
a repair hook, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we should make a knitting game with that. Anyway, yes. What else have you been working on?
I'm working on that.
Wait, before you move on from that,
Yeah.
I am using, for mine, I'm using Encore. I'm using basic, super basic for people's beginner sweater when they don't want to spend a lot of money on a sweater. That looks nicer. What are you making it out of?
I'm using Barocco Ultra Alpaca.
Yeah, I see the fuzzies sticking out of it.
It's so nice and soft, and I will probably regret this if he chucks it in the wash.
Can you sew a tag? We should have, I don't think we have the tags, but you should sew a tag in that says, do not wash this in the washing machine.
Yeah. Anyway, there will be consequences for making a sweater out of that. But, let's be honest, it's going to take me 1.5 years to finish it, so.
It'll fit, no, Isaac's probably grown by now.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say it would fit Isaac, but no. Anyway.
And then yesterday I started a new crochet project. I'm doing a bandana headscarf thing for while my hair is out.
Yes, because you're putting new hair in this weekend.
Yes.
Right? New dreads. So my question about the bandana headscarf, which is adorable, and you did all of that yesterday.
Yeah, except for the row I'm on. Yeah.
She just started it yesterday. Let me rephrase that.
Yes.
So is the pattern you're working from an actual bandana scarf pattern?
Yes, it's off of Etsy. I will give Rebecca the pattern name.
Do you think we can find it on Ravelry too?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have not looked that far.
It's not just a crochet pattern that you're I'm
making up. No.
Okay.
No. It's an actual bandana or an actual little kerchief. But if you repeat the rows enough, you can make it into a shawl or a shawlette.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Anyway, it was. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this because it didn't My problem with headscarves is that everybody has the same one. It's the granny stitch or granny squares sewn together, and I was like,
and you don't want to be like everybody else.
So this one's like more lacy. So
it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's very pretty.
So I was like, I'm gonna do that.
I'll try to get the pattern in the description. I'm starting to get better at doing computer stuff and not being overwhelmed and going like. So we'll see. Yeah. Anyway.
And
then.
I won't show everybody else today about the rest of it, but I'm making more of my sweater rollags.
What did Marin call them? Like worm tacos or squishy tacos?
Yeah.
Or
taquitos.
Taquitos.
Yes. A lady came in the shop, and I have a blue bag, one of our blue shopping bags, our old blue shopping bags, because it's the big one, and I have them all stretched out, pre-drafted, so that I can just spin right out of the bag. And she walked by and she went, "It's intestines, but in a good way." And
looks like intestines, but I don't mean that, and we're like, we don't take offense. It's all good.
So anyway, these are gonna get added to my.
Oh, it's so soft. And what is the fiber in those?
The fiber in them is Polworth, cashmere, and silk.
I have
the blue is silk.
I have just recently... See, when I look at this, I would have thought the white is the silk. But no, the blue is the silk. It's really cool. Okay, so this is not something you can buy in the shop. This is something that Liz is making on her own. It's really cool. She's combining fibers. If you come to Virtual Sit and Stitch, you might see her working on her blending board sometimes. I have just recently learned that Polworth, like different breeds of sheep, Polworth is actually softer than Merino. I had no idea because, marketing. It's like with the Paxlovid thing. It's like everyone's heard of Paxlovid, but no one's heard of the other antiviral. Anyway, Kleenex for tissues, right? Like Merino is like supposed to be the epitome of softness and wool. And Blueface Leicester, which we have in the shop, is pretty much just as soft.
Yeah.
It's not as smooth. Like it looks a little fuzzier like alpaca. But Polworth is apparently really soft. And you're not going to find a whole lot of yarn, like
not commercial.
Industrial, commercial level yarn that says it specifically has Polworth in it. We have an indie dyer locally who does Polworth roving for us on occasion.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, I don't spin, but I had no idea. When I see Polworth, I'm like, eh. And now I'm just going to go, ooh.
It's like...
The more you know.
It's like if Merino is a cloud, Polworth is a cloud with an angel playing a harp on it. Like, it's an extra special cloud.
Merino's a cloud, and sometimes you can throw in the washing machine. And then Blueface Lester is a cloud that's got like a little cherub on it.
Yeah.
And Polworth is a cloud with a harp playing angel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's a little bit more unicorn in Polworth than yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I love that. That's a great analogy. All right. Moving on to do you have anything else?
No,
I mean, that's plenty.
I'm
like,
done.
You've got a lot of stuff.
I know you have a lot.
I've been busy as my post-COVID will allow me to be, but I think decently busy, you know? Oh, that's doing something weird. Okay.
Don't touch it.
Okay, so I can't remember if 2 weeks ago I had finished this, but I'm just going to hold it up. Ta-da! My finish or frogget, I am up to 6 finishes and 8 frogs. I can't show you the things I frogged because
They're frogged.
because they're totally ripped out. Because I bring them in here and Carol finishes ripping them out. But let's start with the finishes. So I'd like to just list them all off quickly. Sockhead hat. And not all these things were started. Oh, I was just gonna hold up the dummy head with the thing on it, but okay.
You want me to get the pink one too?
The pink one I finished before February. Doesn't count. So, hat. My Sasquatch hat. Look, there's a Sasquatch. And on the other side, there's a deer. But my Washington hat with the Sasquatch edition. Where'd he go? He's hiding. Ah! No, okay. So that was my second finish. This might have been my third finish. Why am I feel like I'm forgetting. No, okay. Squirrel.
Not a thing.
See My Vest Chunky with Rika. This I actually started the day before February started. So I'm very proud of this one. But this one was on really chunky needles. 10.5 needles. So, See My Vest. The biggest, happiest thing that I finished is I finished my Dingley Dal. I have not blocked this yet. But y'all haven't seen this. Gonna tip over my chair. Y'all haven't seen this on. I actually sewed all my ends in, like lots and lots of ends. Because every time I changed the stripe, I did cut the yarn because I didn't want a really big, long, like float carry thing that I could get snagged on. So I only used one skein of Harriet Fine for, oh, my arm doesn't like me. She's trying to help. I'm trying to resist.
Well, that looks really cute.
Yes. Yee. This is my Dingley Dell by Isabel Kramer. I'm trying to make sure that my shoulders are like I really like the shoulder construction in this. It's like the first time I've done this as you go shoulder construction. I have not blocked this yet. I have sewn the ends in though. And I really, really like it. And the Harriet Fine is an alpaca and nylon. So shout out to Edith. She is making one with Cascade and a hand dye, which is merino. Speaking of merino, it will have a different drape than this, but I think it will still look lovely. To show you all what I had left of 100 grams of fingering weight, light fingering weight. Only, like, I can see through this one. There's only so much. The green, the Grello color was the edging of everything. So I used more of it. I could not have got another set of stripes. I think another set of stripes would have been too long though. I made the sleeves a little longer than the pattern called for, but I really did squeeze this out of 3 skeins of yarn. And I forget what size I made. This is not waking up. think I killed it. I was gonna weigh it and tell you how much, but I think I think the battery died.
If anything wakes it up, it'll stay awake for a while, and then so like
Kill it.
anybody that walked by and bumped into the table probably woke it up.
We need to change batteries now.
Yes.
But this, I mean, if I had to guess, this is like less than 5 grams. So, couldn't have done much more with this. But I managed to squeeze out this sweater, and I'm very happy with it. I want to say it's close to the 50-inch, 48-inch, whatever that size was on the pattern. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I found this guy. I mean, tomorrow's the last day of September. I almost said September. I'm
That's
thinking
twice. You said that last night on midnight too.
I'm thinking about September because of my vacation. It's in my brain.
I know.
I want to go somewhere like nostalgic in September. Tomorrow's the last day of February. So let's face it, I'm not really going to finish anything else than what I'm showing y'all now. So I found this from the bandana cowl make-along that I want to say, was that last year or 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe. When we did the brioche bandana cowl make-along. I used this one for the videos, but as soon as I got to like the video on and this is inside out technically, I mean it's reversible. But I did the videos on the decreases on this, and then I put it down, and it stayed in that condition until last week.
It lived in the chunky basket, which was at the bottom of the wall that it was attached to.
Yeah, well, it was in with the kits for this make-along, whenever the heck that was. And so I finished it. Yay, because I was like, I can knock this sucker out, and I did this on Saturday. And so... And this is now in all the pictures for it's a little tall when it's just on like this. But then if you fold it, ta-da. If you want a bulky cowl, this is a great one. Like a super bulky. Let's just pretend that the ends are woven in. Look at that. What ends? So I finished this one too. This was finished number 5. And then the grand reveal, because I was working on this last night at midnight, and I stayed up too late to finish it, because I was like, by gosh golly darn, I'm going to finish this.
Shocker.
Want to give you fingers, but this is a family-friendly show. And I would love to weigh this and tell you how much I have left of my second skein. I want to guess I have at least 70 grams left of my second skein, because I only started using this somewhere right before all the garter rows. This is my Dodge shawl, which I have finished. And it is a long, wide, not shallow triangle scarf made out of a Plymouth Yakima. It's a sport weight pattern. Plymouth Yakima is a tonal yarn that's got some yak in it. And I want to say it's got some merino and stuff in it too. It's a single ply.
I want to say it's 70-30. For merino and yak.
When I block it, this is going to sing, because look at that. It's got alternating leaf patterns in it. There were like 5 charts to make sure that they alternated. And it's not blocked yet, so it's like, it's going to sing when I block it. I will try to block it maybe this weekend and bring it in next week for y'all to see. But I'm very proud that post-COVID, post my personal case of COVID, I have finished 6 whole things.
You've done a lot.
I've done a lot, right? I half finished the leg warmers that I'm making. I got one done. Ta-da! I started the second. Let's be honest. I have a day and a half left, basically. I am not going to finish the other one before February is over. I think I've capped what I can actually fully finish in February. I have, like I said, I've frogged 8 things. Go to the list on my website to see. But if I can, let's see if I can remember what I frogged real fast. I frogged the granny square from the pom-pom cover with Fiber Spates Vivacious 4-ply. And I really hope to make something else out of that. I frogged the Ponderosa sweater I was making with Fiber Spates Vivacious 4-ply. I plan to make a basic unisex sweater out of that. I think it'll be gorgeous in the deep teal. I frogged my Flagstaff shawl. If anyone's been following the Flagstaff shawl by D. O'Keefe that I was going to make out of 2 colors because the dye lots were so vastly different between a sample and what we had in the shop. I think that shawl needs to be made out of 1 color, and I have plans and thoughts. And I think it needs to be a different yarn than the Harriet Fine, which is what I'm wearing in the striped sweater here.
The Harriet Fine is a very soft.
It's soft. It's good for lace, but it's not. If you really want crisp lace definition, it needs to be something that's tighter twist and not as fuzzy as alpaca. So I lost track of, I think that was 3. What else did I frog? I frogged a local yarn store day wrap in Cascade 220 that I'm gonna make into something else, a different shawl wrap.
The blue fiber Spates cabled sweater.
I already talked about.
Okay.
That's the Ponderosa.
Okay.
Let's look at the. This is the bag of frogged things. Hearthstone was another D. O'Keefe shawl with nice lace work. That again I did with a fuzzier yarn. I think it needs to be in like Heritage 6. I frogged the Glimmer poncho. That's way back at the beginning. That's 6. What else? This is all the yarn that I might use for other things. I frogged the Tumbling Shawl by Melanie Rice, but I'm going to use this in my my Mountain Mist sweater so I can finish it. That's 7, I think. Oh, and there was another pom-pom bag made out of Zoe. I'm going to find a different market bag to make out of Zoe. So I think that's the 8 of my frogs. I'm looking at the time. So pledge to finish, a lot of things. Basically, almost everything else that's left on my list online of a pledge to finish, I'm hoping to finish. So there's already at least 12 or so things on there, and it's over 20 because I didn't quite. I frogged 8 and I finished 6, which is 14. I didn't quite reduce my works in project by half, which is what I did last year. I went from 60 to 30, but I think I had much better options. Like having weeded through that once, I don't think that it was as easy to do it, to cull it that many the second time. I started with 40, and I have taken 14 things out of that. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, at least one of those was extra. So it's like I started with 40-ish because I found extra projects. So I have not reduced it in half. But just to show you a couple of things is I'm going to finish my Forest Land. This is that sleeve separation, but not much further. I think I showed you all. I can't remember if I showed you all this. I finished.
I think you were almost to the bind off the last time, but
I finished the bind off on this. I want to say I tried this on for y'all, but if I didn't, I can do that next week. You tell me, and I can do it next week. But I finished the bottom of this, so I have a lot of half finishes, like one leg warmer. The bottom of this, so I'm on the sleeves now. I'm gonna finish my Tecumseh. I pledged to finish this one, but I'm not gonna get there this month. There's a lot of sweaters. I mean, I can do a full assessment next week also of like how many things I have left and what type they are, that kind of thing. But I wanted to make sure I showed you all these things this week. So we should get to our big announcement, and then we should go open. We should. Should is a shame word, but we're still using it.
We still should get to that because they'll want to know.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna put an email out about this too because I forgot to hint at it in Monday's email because I was so busy doing the brioche make along. By the way, we'll talk more about the brioche make along because I got the virtual classes set up for that. That's gonna start at the end of just past mid-March, so the later half of March. It's really, there's only one session that will be in March, and then we'll hit April and a little bit of May. So anyway, I will talk more about that next week. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow's date, Liz?
Tomorrow is the 29th of February.
Yes, and that only happens once every 4 years. So we figured we should take advantage of this and make it really special for y'all. So February 29th only comes once every 4 years. So leap year, right? It is leap day, technically, tomorrow. So, and I thought we should have a sale. Pop-up sale, right? Flash sale, whatever you want to call it.
We are giving y'all just a little bit of a heads up. So
Yeah, I'm not publishing this video till late in the day, but
still, a little bit of a heads up.
we're not waiting until like mid-morning on the day of the sale to tell you. We're telling you, we're letting you prep for this. The code is going to be Leap Day 29 because it's the 29th of February, and it only happens once every 4 years. And anyone want to guess how much off we're going to give you?
Rebecca's right in it.
You want to tell them?
It's 29%.
29%! Oh my gosh, because it's the 29th, and that doesn't happen very often for February. 29%. This will only apply only on Thursday, only when the date is the 29th. And I think our online shop probably goes by East Coast time, so West Coast, other time zones, plan accordingly. Buy early, buy often. The other thing is it only applies to physical items we have in the shop right now. I have actually been trying to get a few fun things up into the online shop for y'all, but you can call us. Please be patient. Carol won't be here. You can call us if you'd like to place an order for things that are not yet online. Some of the yarns I may not have the energy to get online if they're not there yet. It does not apply to Ravelry patterns, to lessons. So like if you want to buy the virtual sessions, they do not get a discount. It is physical inventory that we currently have in the shop. It is not ordering in advance. Like, ooh, I want to make this huge blanket. Let me place my pre-order with you now. No, doesn't work on that.
Surprise Me Sale Bin support boxes.
The things already discounted, like Surprise Me Sale Bin support boxes, will not be furtherly discounted. So things like you can only use one code. You cannot combine this if you came to our Sunday Sit and Stitch with the code you got there. This one's bigger. I would use this one. So again, starting only tomorrow. Only if you're watching this video any other day than what we publish it. Only on February 29th, 2024. Leap Day 29 will save you 29%. On current inventory. Ha! Let's celebrate while we have a chance, because the next time this one rolls around, it'll be
4 more years.
It'll be our 10-year anniversary at that point. So, what? It'll be past 10 years in business. What? So, anyway.
I was looking yesterday. I don't think you did 29%
Last time?
the last leap year. So
Well, we had only been in business like
a year or two.
a year or two. No.
You opened 17 and it was in 2020.
Okay. Because 4 years ago, yeah. Anyway, 2.5 years into business, math. The other white meat. Okay.
English is important. Math is more importanter.
Is importanter. So, yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna go now.
Yep.
Please enjoy this gift from us. Please be nice to us and patient if you have to call us tomorrow. Hannah will be here to help. But, oh my gosh, we might be running around a little crazy.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, we love y'all. Stay safe. We'll talk to you later.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff.
Yay! We are over 1850 for subscribers. When we hit 2,000 subscribers, we will also have another sale. It will not be as big as the one that's tomorrow. But, it's still something. So please subscribe if you haven't. Bye.